Hi, this is Excel Basics with Katie Lebeds. In today's session, we are going to look at VLOOKUP. Before we begin, just to introduce myself, my name is Katie Lebeds. I am the president of Learning to Lean, a continuous improvement consulting, training, and coaching company, and Top Knot virtual assistant company based in the US. We're using the same file that we have used for the previous lessons. So let's take a look at commissions per salesperson. The commissions per salesperson tab has information such as name, the commission per month, and the total commission for the year. Now let's say that we have another file that contains the base salary and commission information. We have instructions here on the right, so we're using the VLOOKUP function. VLOOKUP stands for vertical lookup. The destination file is where you'll be pulling over the data. So that is our salary plus commission file because we'd like to have a grand total of the total compensation per person based on their base salary and commission. The source file is that commissions per salesperson tab that we were just looking at. The source file can be within the same Excel file, or it could actually be a completely different Excel file. So in both of the sheets, your source and destination, you want to have the column with the value that you're looking up in column A, sorted in A to Z order. So what does that mean? So we have to have a basis for Excel to be able to search and retrieve the information. For our example, that basis will be the name. So it's going to take the name from this tab, salary and commission, and look it up, finding the name in the commission per salesperson tab. So the column of information, I always suggest it is in column A. And again, we already have this sorted by name from A to Z in each of the tabs of this Excel file. So ensure that you know your source spreadsheet, the column of information that you want to look up. So for our example, we want to look up the commission per person for last year, their total commission. If I look back in my commission per salesperson spreadsheet tab, I notice that it's in column N like Nancy. Column N is actually the 14th column because N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. So we need the information in column N or column 14. Going back to our instructions, we want to click on the field in our destination file, which is here, where you want to display the information, where you want that information displayed from the source file. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert a function. I have already taken a little screenshot of the VLOOKUP function for you down here at the bottom of the screen, so you can look and follow along. So I'm going to go into Formulas, Insert Function, and VLOOKUP. If VLOOKUP doesn't appear immediately, you can always click on All and search for the function there. So I'm going to click on VLOOKUP and click OK. So again, the lookup value, we're in step 4, the lookup value is the field of data that appears in both the source file and the destination file. So in our case, the field value that we're looking up is the name. So I'm going to click on Jerry, so A3. The table array is the next value we have to enter, and it's an indicator of where you want Excel to look up the specific cell of data in the source file you want displayed in the destination file. Basically, it's telling Excel, hey, look here. So I'm going to go over to my commissions per salesperson tab, and I'm going to highlight all of my data. So I'll highlight David, total commission, and all of the data on that spreadsheet with my left mouse button being held and then let go. Now it wants to know the column index number. So remember, we talked about that earlier. The column index number is the number of the column that contains the data you want brought over to your destination file. For our example, that column number or that column was column N as in Nancy that displayed the total commission for FY19. The column number is 14 because N is the 14th letter of the alphabet. Now range lookup. First of all, I'll tell you range lookup is always false because we want an exact match, which means I want Excel to look for the exact match of Jerry on the other file, on our source file. If you don't put false here, or if you had put true, then it would only do a partial match. So we need an exact match here. Honestly, in all the times I've been using Excel, I don't think I've ever put anything but false, or you can also leave it blank, which defaults to false. As you can see here, it's giving me a preview of what the answer is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I see that Jerry's commission from last year was $18,810. Let's just go double check that just for sanity's sake. Jerry from our original source file. Yes, his total commission was $18,810. Now, instead of copy pasting this all the way down, I can use the quick copy function. However, before we start, we need to remember, and your instructions here are number 8, use your jail bars or the dollar signs around the cell value of your source data so that the formula copies down correctly without incrementing. So again, I'm going to put my dollar sign. You can see where you can see where it's been done in the previous one. So my dollar sign was entered here. I'm going to put my dollar sign here. Excuse me. And now when I copy down my function, holding down my left mouse button, going to the bottom right hand corner of the original cell, I am dragging and dropping and it copies down those cell formulas. Now, one other thing for you to keep in mind is that if you leave the formulas in these cells, these two tabs of data or even the two files of data will be linked. And sometimes when you open an Excel file, it says update link files. That's what it's talking about. Now, if you're still manipulating the data in your commissions file, please note if you still have the formulas over here that we just looked at and created, any change to this commissions file will automatically change your salary and commission file. For example, let's say that I made a mistake and David actually made $1,500 in January. My total commission was updated here and it also reflects here. Now, if you don't need those linked, and I suggest that if you're done manipulating the data, you don't need those linked, let's just copy paste special values to get rid of the formulas. I'm going to highlight using my left mouse button, right click and hit copy, right click again and hit paste special values, and that gets rid of our formulas, our VLOOKUP formulas. Now let's do a simple calculation to get our total compensation for each person for the year. I'm going to type in the equal sign, which is an indicator to Excel that we have a formula coming. I'm going to click on my base salary for David, and I'm going to hit the plus key, the commission for David, and hit the enter key. That gives me the total value of $97,500. I'm going to the bottom right corner of my cell. I'm going to use my left mouse button to drag that formula down, and it gives me the total per person for the year. So hopefully you were able to learn something new in today's VLOOKUP class. Again, the information is posted here in the file. If you would like to have access to this file, you will not be spammed or solicited. It's just accessed to a Facebook group that contains these files for you to download. Please send me a note and I'd be happy to do that for you. Thanks for joining me in today's Excel Basics session. Have a great day.